Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stocks and Stuff. I hope everybody had a great day. I bet if you were in the Discord, you were probably having a pretty good day. We had like an epic day on the Qs. We'll go through all of that, but let's go through the market and see what's happening. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this evening? And let's see what that heat map looked like. It was kind of red for the Mag 7, that's for sure. There you go. Apple was down, NVIDIA's down, Microsoft's down, Tesla, Amazon. They were all down right there. Your SPY was down pretty good today as well. And then the Qs were down pretty heavy today. And we did have a wild day. I called two 200% or pluses in the Discord and two 100% plusers I played. So if you were in there, you got to take advantage of that. It was pretty wild, guys. And everybody was pretty happy about that one because we just nailed that thing. And of course, it was going down today. But I do play the channels. If I would have kept them from the beginning all the way down to about 12:30 right there, it would have been pretty wild too. But I just play these channels right here, and each one of these channels is like 200% plus right there. So I'm perfectly fine. I guess they all add up to be about the same because I cut that time out and then now it again. So I don't know. It all adds up to be the same, I'm sure. But we may have a special guest joining us as well this evening. So let me see who's going to be popping in this evening and hanging out with us. Let's see who's here right there. Oh, who's that? Is that Nader right there? Nader's hanging out this evening. How are you, Nader?
I just popped in out of nowhere.
Just popping by to say hello. If you want, Nader, you can if you want to pop your screen on and have a little fun, we can have a little fun this evening for a little bit. Nader was just popping by. Look at that. He was just in the neighborhood, I think, in podcast world. And said, let me stop in to Stocks and Stuff, see what's going on. And we'll go through some cool Trend Spider stuff.
That is what happened.
So, yeah,
thank you for having me. And
of course,
I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Why don't we just, hear your thoughts on the market? We've rallied for like 9 weeks, had a strong sell-off on Friday, rebounded on Monday, and then we've had 2 5% drops in the past 3 trading days.
Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, so especially I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'm happy to tell you my thoughts too.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go through it and talk about all this, Nader. So, yeah, what I think is happening here, as a matter of fact, I just see the market actually kind of pulling back, and I think we kind of expected this, to be honest with you. I mean, I was saying it was so topped out. You have to be so careful, but you had to kind of keep the wind at your back because it was just running up, but you also had to have your allocations properly because if you get caught up there, you're going to get smoked. And I was kind of ready for it. I was going cash every day because I kind of didn't trust this market right here. And then all of a sudden, like you said, Friday was a great day to pull back right there. It jumped down. That was a good day for the Qs. And then Monday, it just kind of happened there. And yesterday, I said, I do not think that market's going up. I don't like the look of it. I actually bought a few Q puts in my long-term account yesterday, right at the end of the day, and then it jumped up early this morning, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy. But guess what, they paid out pretty big because I didn't get shaken out of it. Luckily, I honestly, I had a doctor's appointment this morning. It might have saved me because I might have been shaken out of that thing and I didn't get a check. And as soon as I got out, it started the market started to reverse right there, Nader, and I was like, oh, this is going down, this is going to work. And then it was down at 704 or something this morning or today, so it was way down there. And what did it get down to today? I forget. Was its low 686? It got to 686.
That's a pretty low price. It rebounded pretty hard.
Oh yeah, it did get down there. That's right, around 12:30ish. But yeah, that was crazy. I mean, holy cow! I had 714 puts yesterday that I got yesterday at the end of the day, and like I said, it jumped up today and then just went crashing down. So they were way in the green. And yeah, it's a crazy market, but do I think it's going to completely rebound? I do, actually, Nader. I think either right. I think the Qs are coming right to that magnet. It's the 50 right here, 675 tomorrow. You might as well figure on seeing that tomorrow because this thing does not look good, and I think we're coming down to visit that tomorrow. And then that's going to be the question: I think we might even come down and visit 629, 630 area. I think we might have a huge sell off here going in the SpaceX because I just think it's way too overhyped. And that could be the big sell off right there going into Friday. And I knew you were going to probably mention SpaceX as well. But yeah, SpaceX is just huge. Everybody's talking about it and everybody's trying to get into this thing. And I feel like when retail and like everybody and their mother starts asking you about it, nobody that knows anything about the stock market, like, yo, how do I get into SpaceX? You guys know what I said. I already see the big sell off coming. I'm just going to wait for the price to drop. I'll play stats and other ones. So what do you think, Nader? Give me your view right here.
So I have some funny things based on what you said. First thing you said, you think the market will rebound. Then you also said you think the market will go down. So I guess are
Well,
you
I think it's
expecting
going
a
to go
short term
down,
rebound?
continue to go down right now. I do think it's going to continue to go down. Like I said, that Q's, I think the Q's right there. I think them levels. I think tomorrow we're going to see that 675 area. And then I think we're going to end up coming back down to like 630, 629, 630 area, right down there. And that's when you're going to see the rebound. So I do think we're going to continue down right now. And then you're going to see that pop up right around I don't think it's going to hold up on that 50, and I really think we see that 50 today. And if you guys I said it was going to be touching down pretty far today. Actually, we were looking at it in our Discord and stuff, and yeah, it doing exactly what I thought. I think that 50 is a magnet for this thing. So 675, 673, 674, anywhere in that range, I think we touch that tomorrow and we continue to come down. And that's when I'm going to be watching this thing, because as soon as it breaks that 673 area, you pretty much know it's coming down the 630s, and you can ride it down. And then once it hits that area, load the boat to go back up because it's going to be popping.
Okay. I did a request to share my screen if you
Oh,
wanna.
what do I have to do right here? Oh, add it to the stage. There you go.
Yeah.
Before I remove, what did it say to do? Remove what? Oh, I got to remove mine. That's why I couldn't add it. I was trying to, and it wouldn't. I didn't read the thing what it said to me. Maybe if I was paying attention, Nader, it would help, because it told me to remove my screen sharing so I could put yours on. So yeah, Nader's
Yeah,
on
you're
here,
good.
guys. Look, Luis Rodriguez saying what up, what's up, and laptop travel right there. Nader MVP right there. I thought you guys would like Nader hopping on here and saying what's up. So yeah, let's go through some cool stuff on TrendSpider, see what's new and what's happening over here. And also, Nader, you have to show me, because and then I'm gonna walk through on mine how to do this. But I want to know how to look at that like options chains and see how like you see like the options flows and stuff like that. So I was messing around with these
Oh yeah.
options data.
Okay. I'll show you the different ways to do it. The
Sure.
way that options works, it's pretty much integrated throughout TrendSpider, so it can be accessed in a lot of different ways. But I'll show you. I'll show you right after. Um, my thoughts on QQQ. I've been kind of focused on just simplifying my levels, having less key levels, especially long term levels, to look at. And so I had the 700 level as a key target. I actually shorted a bit early on QQQ. I think maybe somewhere like right around here, right before we topped out. It was
Me
just a
too. Me too, Nader. I thought it was topping out at that point too, and that's when I realized I'm like, well, you got to just ride the momentum with the win with your back, because this thing just kept going up, and I felt the same way. I got caught up on it trying to short the cues like one or two times, and then I was like, all right, I have to give up on that until it really breaks. So you weren't the only one, Nader. I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah, and the logic, we were up, I think 20 something percent. Usually we do that in a full year on average, so it felt like we were above the yearly average. 9+ week rally, that's a historically good rally. Usually those rallies tend to die out around 9 weeks. So based on that logic, and I felt like we were very overextended, and pretty much I shorted early. I've been happy to see these drops. It is a bit concerning. 5% drops are pretty big. 2%, like 2% is a bad day. 5%
Yeah.
is 5% is like five times worse than a 2% drop. It's
It's pretty big.
not numbers wise, just being concerned, like what the hell is going on? Why is
Hmm.
it dropping so hard? And so, you know, right now I feel like 700 is a key level to monitor, and I think we are seeing, some buyers stepping in here, but I feel like we are likely to lose support at 700. I'm with you. I think we're likely to see more downside, and I have 637 as a key support level. But usually with these very strong names like QQQ, I think the dips will get bought up early. So even though the buy target is 637, maybe buyers might step in like
And honestly,
650.
well, Nader, it's funny because I said 6:30 and you might be closer to it with 6:37 because again, people will step in because that 6:30 is really the bottom right there. I mean, almost 6:30 50 6:30 and 50 cents right there is like really the bottom and should try to bounce. So, I could see buyers stepping in right before that and trying to keep it above there, but it maybe it wicks down. And if you have a buy set, you might get it, but it might be one of them quick ones where it dips down to that spot real quick and then wicks back up. We see that pretty often, but I think you might be right on the money, and I really think we're gonna see that area.
Yeah, and I like to look at EMA levels, and I feel like we're very overextended on the
Hmm.
EMA levels. Realistically, we should be the average is right around 650, and so there are times we're going to be above average. There are times where we're going to be below average. So, we had a massive rebound since April. Um, Interestingly enough, we rebounded last April, and I was talking to a friend who told me how crazy would it be if we rebounded in April again because we had the tariff rebound last April, and that's pretty much how it played out. So, um, I feel like most likely scenario would be a pullback followed by a rebound. So, I'm kind of with you on the same page as far as like correction, and then I see the rally continuing. Now,
Hmm.
with SpaceX, I'm curious, do you plan on buying at all?
Oh yeah, I definitely plan on buying. It's just not. I'm not that hopped up on it right away, just because I feel like it's going to be a kind of a sell off. I mean, I honestly, the first day, Friday, I will trade it and take advantage of its volatility. I think it's going to be a crazy day on Friday. Honestly, I think there's going to be a ton of money involved in this thing, and it's just going to be wild. Like every which way, it's going to be crazy. So yeah, I'll take advantage of that trading opportunity, but I want to see if it does get sold off. You know how many people are going to become millionaires that have been involved with the company for however long, and they're going to be cashing in them stocks, them options, and whatever they have to make money. And obviously, people are going to step up and buy it as well. But it's just going to be a crazy day in general, and I do think you're going to see some profit taking. So. I am going to just kind of wait to see what it does before I jump in for like a long term position, but I plan on trading it for sure because it's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy, obviously. So, and I don't think it won't even have options or anything like the first day or whatever. So it's just going to be straight stock shares that you're trading, and it'll have a lot of volume. What do you think the volume is going to be that day, Nader? What do you think it'll get to?
I have no idea. I'm not thinking about the volume to be honest.
I'm just
I
curious. I am.
Yeah,
I
I
was
have
just
no
curious.
idea.
I think it's going to be like one of the biggest volume days ever for something for like one single stock, just because for the sole purpose that like so many institutions are involved. And again, Nader, like I was saying before, like every person's asking you about this thing. Like everyone that
Yeah.
doesn't trade stocks, and when they start asking you about things, you know that people are just going to be buying this thing like crazy that day. So I assume it's going to be a wild one. And so yeah, I'm excited for it. But again, what do you think about your long? Are you going to get it for long term, or are you going to just try to trade it in the beginning? What's your view on that?
So I'm looking at Tesla right now, and was the Tesla IPO. It dropped 42%, kind of wicked up and dropped 42%. I feel like it's overvalued. I think it can pump I think it can pump. I think it can sell off on the first day. Really, it's a gamble. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the safest route is to wait for the first major dip and then buy.
Yep.
Um, but really, if you're buying for long term on day one, or if you're going to be patient and buy, I think either route is good if you're willing to hold long term. Because this is how Tesla played out.
Oh yeah.
It chopped a lot, and these are weekly candles. So this is what, a couple of years. This is about like just around 2 years
Okay.
before you started to see a rally. So I can see something like this playing out. I think Elon will. I feel like he is going to make this company very successful. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if they're generating. I don't know if the fundamentals are strong now. But really, one thing I was talking to, one thing Mike mentioned is when a company has strong fundamentals already, price
Well,
is usually already at all-time highs. And so you kind of have to gamble on them before they get there. And I think this is already a strong company. It has Elon, already has so much hype around it. Um, but probably we'll see some chop. Probably we'll see some dips. I'd rather just wait for the first major dip and buy for long term. I view this as a long term play. I don't. I wouldn't be interested in just taking short term profit or taking or really gambling on IPOs. I kind of gambled on IPOs last year. There were some crypto ones. Some did good, some disappointed, but really I felt like I was gambling.
yeah.
Um, was able to get shares before IPO for one of them, and the stock got listed. I was already up like 40 something percent. And so, that's probably the way to go, where if you can secure some shares before launch, but you would have to get lucky.
Um, yeah, and then laptop travel right there. He said, "How do you feel about the reports that SpaceX is already 4 times oversubscribed?" And that's the thing. I mean, it's just like a crazy thing right now. It's absolutely, and that's the recipe for something to dip down pretty well, especially when you see the market conditions. It's almost all lining up to be a disaster. I don't know why, but it seems like it is. And I'm not hoping it is. I just think it'll be a better opportunity if you're patient with it. That's what I think. And like I said, I'll look for the dips on the first day just to trade it that day, but I'm going to watch for the pullback if there is one. And if it looks like it'll take off, I'll obviously jump in it. But I think it's like you, Nader, I think we're going to see it. It's overvalued already, and I think we see some pullback on it before it really takes off again. So that's my view. And then how many, like, isn't it like 90 days or something that people are like locked into that thing, or 6 months, whatever? Like these people are all locked into it. So
So you're technically not locked in. You can break the rules. I actually know somebody who plans on breaking the rules, and so he if you break the rules, it'll affect your ability to buy the next IPO. And
okay.
so that I had broken the rules once for one of them, and pretty much it'll just restrict your chances for the future IPOs. So he's willing to do that to buy SpaceX, and he also bought and held Meta, Apple, like for many years. So he's got quite a portfolio, tens of millions of dollars.
Nice.
So he's done very well. And his approach is to buy this one, break the rules, and he thinks there will be a major correction, and then he would buy and hold on that major correction. I'd say that's likely to occur. I
Hmm.
wouldn't be surprised if it ended green on the first day.
Yeah, I
Markets are
agree.
Yeah, markets are a bit crazy right now. I mean, 5% drop on Friday, rebound on Monday, another 5% drop today. So, should be interesting to see how the rest of the week plays out headed into Friday. Um, I imagine some liquidity is being taken out of the markets
Hmm.
to prepare cash for SpaceX too. So, should be interesting. Um, let's see. You asked about options. So there's a lot of different ways you could do it. If you wanted to type in a chart like Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
we have in the search bar right under it, we have options as, as a tab here. So you can type in options, you can select options here, and you can choose any one of these. So if I want to look at June 10, and if I want to look at these 1,900 contracts here, I can click on this and it will actually chart whatever I clicked on. And so you can view options charts now in TrendSpider.
Okay.
And if you wanted to zoom in on 5 minute candles, by the way, the indicator I use is I use two different ones. I like chats and I like go no go. They're just color coded. So for me, when I start to see the purple, that's usually a good time to buy.
Okay.
And
And what's that
so
one? Go no go?
this one is chats, CHATS, and then there's also go no go. Both of them are color coded. I think they're both awesome. For go no go, you can wait for um, basically wait for the orange. That's a neutral, pretty much a shift in trend. So here you have a bear trend, and then you start to see this orange. That should be a signal that the trend is shifting.
Huh.
So after it's bearish, you get a trend shift, and then now suddenly it's bullish.
It's running
And
up. Isn't it amazing how accurate these things are? I mean, I mean, the software today is crazy, and you guys know I always talk about TrendSpider being amazing, but I don't even utilize it fully. I'm telling you, Nate. I say it every time, and I'm still very happy with everything that I use. Believe me, it's amazing. But I mean, this thing is so incredible. It has so much great software and things to use in here, and I don't. I'm telling you, I don't use half of it. That's why. I have to really start using it, just playing around with. I've been playing around with it a lot more. So I'm gonna add that color code. I like that thing. That's pretty cool. I mean, look how accurate it is. It's pretty crazy. I mean, as it's
yeah,
purple, it goes down, and then blue pops up, and then it's like pretty damn accurate right there. That's pretty wild, guys. Check that out.
yeah, and it's funny. It's flashing orange, so it's the price action is neutral. I think a lot of these charts are pretty neutral. You're just seeing movements between two different levels. Here for Tesla, you have these two levels. If I go to QQQ, I think QQQ is just bouncing between two levels as well.
Yeah,
Not so much near this target, but I could draw a trend line here, and I think really we're just moving within this range for
right
now.
in that trend. Yeah, that
Um,
channel.
yeah, but let's see. The other route that I would recommend is go to options data at the bottom here, and I like to maximize this. And we have options chain and options map. I think maps are the cooler ones for me, but it really just depends on what you like. Um, I usually look for the dark blue. That tells you the key dates and the key price targets. So
Okay.
720, you have a lot of action at these different levels: 700, 705, 710. But really, right now, 695 and 700 are the two key levels. Um, One thing I don't like about this is it's just in blocks. Like usually, you'll find a lot of targets in blocks of five for whatever reason. So
Mm.
kind of like 695, 700,
Yeah, yeah.
705, 710. So it's like, okay, am I just, adding five to the previous target? So I'd rather just draw my stuff out manually. But what you can do with Sidekick, it's becoming more agentic. It can do a lot of different things now. Um, I like to ask it to fetch the um, option chain data and draw the key price target on my chart and identify key support and resistance level. Focus on important level only. So really just depends on what you want. I'd rather have the best targets, the targets with the most activity, and kind of filtering out the lesser targets. And so I pretty much just asked Sidekick to grab the data for me and to draw it on my chart. And so that's what's taking place right now. Sidekick can now set alerts across your portfolio. It can, let's see, it can analyze, it can actually view if you have something called Signal Stack where your portfolio is connected. It can actually view your portfolio and analyze it, including the
Wow.
percentage that you have allocated as well. Really, I shouldn't say this, but I think a lot of people are using AI and AI tools like Sidekick for financial advice. Um, I've seen some people say like, I know somebody who bought MU. It rallied quite a bit over the past 2 months. He wasn't sure what to do. He asked, "How much should I trim? This is what I bought. This is how much it's up," and it gives some pretty good guidance. I use it a lot for that reason as well, but really just depends on what you're interested in. Some people like the educational side of it. Teach me how to use this. Some people like to give it tasks, like me. I'm lazy, so I like to make AI do my work so I can make more time to see Doug. So um,
That's
you
right.
can have it build you some scanners and stuff, which I think is cool. Mainly because it takes so much time. It used I remember 2 years ago I had to manually do all this stuff and it took
Mm.
a while to build scanners. So just having the ability to tell it, hey, build me this is what I want, and then having it build it will just make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, no, I've used it for that on the show live and showed people how to do that. And yeah, it is a great tool, that Sidekick. I use it just asking it questions here and there, but I should use it more because you do like ask it to like put trend lines on charts and stuff like that. It is pretty cool like that. And yeah, what a great tool that Sidekick is. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, I think it's we're lucky to have these tools at
At our
our
disposal
fingertips,
anymore.
right? Yeah, and so it drew some key levels for me. 650 support, 680 support. Maybe the 680 level might be one for you to monitor. Maybe 650. I think I actually think this is very helpful because I was telling you I don't think it will get all the way down to the target. I think people will take profits early on the shorts. If you are shorting like SQ, if you're long SQQQ, this thing is like the worst thing to be long on. It just bleeds over time. So
Yeah.
really, you need to enter your spots and like you're kind of desperately trying to get out every time this thing
Yeah.
comes. So it's not the well. Meanwhile, TQQQ is the exact opposite. It's just pumping.
Just goes
Uh,
all the time practically, except for like Friday and today. And and yeah, they were the best days I've put. Oh, dude, I had an epic day today, Nader. It was absolutely bonkers what I did with the queues. I had two calls
yeah,
in our Discord for over 200%, and then hit two more calls for over 100% on them. I like to play the
that's awesome.
channels on them in the minute chart, and it was fun. We had a good day today.
That's awesome. I know you run some TrendSpider scanners, right?
Oh yeah, all the time. I run them
You
on the
should
show all the time.
you should you should publish them on the store if you want.
I always forget to because I have a couple really good ones that are especially the one that I have for like the spy and the big caps. I mean, this thing is money all the time. Pulls up some great ones. It just pulled up Nike, and Nike's looking pretty good right there. And AZO, I'm not even AutoZone. I saw that this morning. That was looking good. I bet that ran today. AZO, that was on that scanner, and holy shit, it ran up $63 today. Wow. Holy cow. I mean, it's like a $3,000 stock. So, but it still ran up like 2% right there. I saw that on there. Yeah, I have to publish this one. This one's really good. Carvana's was looking pretty decent going into today. Yeah, I'll definitely have to post it. What's Southwest doing? Southwest looks good. What's up with the airlines? I don't even know, but South LUV was just looking good right there for a second. That does look pretty good. LUV, check that out. Nader, that looks pretty good.
I get asked about OUB from time to time.
Southwest.
Yeah. Are you big on airline? Like,
I don't care
I,
what the companies are. I'll just trade anything with a decent chart. But Laptop Travel obviously knows a ton about the airline, so we do follow them pretty often. I mean, if they're doing something, we'll follow them because Laptop Travel seems he always knows a lot about that stuff, which works out
I
good.
mean, this looks pretty good. I can see it going to 66, 69. This is like building momentum here. It's just kind of climbing up, I feel.
Yeah, it
Uh,
looks good.
yeah, definitely a bit choppy, but I would ride it up. Likely to my best guess is something like this. If it breaks out, if not, maybe tops out here. But yeah, looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Looks like it has some momentum on that color chart too. I like that thing. That thing's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna do that. You said it is chats. I'm gonna look into that thing. Can Sidekick analyze your trade history with recommendations? That's interesting. Laptop travel. I guess if you have it hooked up to sing. I can't even say it.
Signal stack.
Yeah, Signal
Signal stack.
Stack. I couldn't even say Signal Stack. Maybe it can because that's all integrated in the TrendSpider and everything. That was like the first company, guys. The Signal Stack and TrendSpider hooked up together, and they are together. Was basically like the first trading bots that you could get. And I was just watching this hockey game, guys. It's 2-1, and Vegas Knights just scored a goal. Carolina already put 2 goals on the board, and Vegas Knights just put one on the board. It was a pretty sweet goal. Sorry, Nader. I always update the hockey. But yeah, this that signal stack is amazing, guys. So I have to get into that too because I really want to look into it. I told you, I'll have to show you, Nader, the bot that I built there, and maybe we can even integrate it into TrendSpider because this thing is on fire. I mean, we got a scanner on this thing, and I don't even know half the stocks this thing even picks up or where it's finding them. I really have no idea. It's just we trained it to look for patterns that I look for, and this thing is finding stocks like it's out of control. And yeah, we might have to set this thing up and talk to you about this because I think we might be on something crazy right now. It is. It's wild. We literally took all of my data and trained a bot how to trade.
Oh,
Pick my pattern.
you were telling me about that. That's
Yeah, I had the
interesting.
guy that I do it with. He came on my 2 year show right after you were on, and he was talking all the AI and bot stuff like that's over my head. But yeah, he's a brilliant dude. I'll have to yeah, maybe we'll have to set something up and check that out, Nader, because we might be on to something here. And like I said, I know that signal stack and everything, it might all integrate together. If we could pull that off, dude, we could probably just sit back and do nothing because this thing is crazy. I'm not even kidding. All I have to do is input what I like, and then the thing just goes to town. It's pretty wild. It's crazy technology, guys. And we've been talking about all this stuff for a while. And again, uh, the TrendSpider was like the first piece. That's how I told you guys that you could build these scanners and build charts and whatever you wanted. And then they had the trading bots on here, and I was interested in that. I just never did it. But I did all the scanners and charts and stuff, and then I was like pretty satisfied after that. I was like, wow, this stuff's amazing. I could do so much. And like I said, I don't use half the great technology that TrendSpider has. I do love Sidekick, though. I use it all the time and ask it questions. I ask it on here. I'll be looking at something and I'll throw it in there and come back to it in a minute or two and see what it says. So we do use it on the show quite often as well. It's a great tool. And but yeah, I've been messing around a lot with the options data spot down there, and I do like how it's color coded because that's what I've been looking at, like the options chains and like what has like the most options call or whatever it is, the most activity, whatever they're what the heck word am I looking for? I don't even know, but whatever.
Most contracts.
Yeah, like
You
exactly.
can you can
Yeah,
actually just
exactly. Like the
just
most.
ask. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can just
pretty
ask
much.
Sidekick. So you can say, find me the tickers with the most option activity today. Um, Sort them into most bullish, Most,
Oh,
so
that's
I wrote,
sweet. I've never even really
yeah.
thought. See, Nader, you're like on point. That's why we have to have you on the show all the time because you guys give us great ideas, and that's a great idea right there that I've really never thought about using Sidekick for. So thank you. I'm gonna start doing that one.
We actually just hold on. We have some Sidekick prompt guide as well. I feel like a lot of people need a guide, including myself, because I don't think my prompts are that amazing. I kind of just speak my mind, and,
That's
keep
where the
my
guy
stuff.
that I do the
Yeah.
bot thing with, that's what he did. I told the story, Nader, real quick. This guy, Josh, uh, he was talking about ChatG. I was doing a cannabis show with this dude like 6 years ago or however long ago it was. And when ChatGPT, it was just coming out. I had never heard of it. I had no idea what it was. I'm not even kidding. And he was using it already. But not only using it, he was like building crossword puzzles and all kinds of word searches and selling them on Amazon back then, dude. Like he had
Wait,
already,
how many years
he
ago?
was so far ahead, and he had known everything about AI. And I'm telling you, he's like a master at AI. But but it's the prompts, and he taught me a lot about the prompts and stuff, and how to utilize them and really make them work. But yeah, that if you can master that end of it, I mean, you can really use AI to like to your advantage like crazy. And I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm definitely better than if you'd never showed me anything. But you're right. Like the prompts, if you have a prompt person that really understands it, so maybe I should connect because he would be the guy that could, and he's a stock market, he's a hedge fund guy. He knows all this shit. He would be the guy to put all these perfect prompts together. I promise you. And yeah, I'm telling you, he's a wizard with that kind of stuff, Nader. And that's exactly what I was thinking before. I'm like, Josh shouldn't try. He's never really used it before. He just builds his own stuff. But I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, you got to try this thing because it does everything. So I think I'm gonna just have to maybe Nader. We have to hop on a call with him one day, like a private call, and talk to him because I'm telling you, we might be able to set something up that's just out of this world. And because I see what this technology with Transpire can do because it's so incredible, and then I see what like people can do now with Claude and like AI and everything else, and you put them all together, and then you can make some amazing tools and platforms together. And yeah, I just see that's the future, guys. You guys know I've been talking about it for like 2 years now plus, and yeah, what do you think, Nader? Do you think like everybody's gonna have like bots and stuff just trading for them in the near
No,
future?
no. I think a lot of people are not even on the trend. Like I talk to people, some people don't use it at all. Some people are still. I say most people are using AI for the same reasons that they were using like a year or 2 years ago, where they just chat with it. They use it as a simple chatbot, basic research, maybe even a deep research. But the concept of an agent, of giving it a task, having it work for you, having it do stuff over and over again. First of all, I don't think it's like that amazing. I One thing that I've been doing is I've been trying to automate stuff. I have been asking. I like to have agents interact with each other. I'll
Mhm.
literally have Codex or Claude go into Sidekick, talk to Sidekick, get a prompt, and give it back to me to see how good the process would be. Because I want to automate a lot of stuff. I want to set alerts. I want to update alerts. I want to run scanners, analyze them, filter them out, find the best picks. So there's processes involved. Um, Even a basic task of give me an update on what happened in the market today. Having Codex perform that repetitively every day, every morning. I noticed I manually did it the first few days, and I said, okay, now I'm happy with this prompt. Now let's do this prompt, this structure. Let's do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow it just gave me a shitty a shitty output. It gave me a really it gave me a worse a worse version of what I asked for, basically. And it was only one day. Like the first time I asked it to automate. So for whatever reason, when you let it run, it'll start giving you worse and worse replies. I think where we are right now, it's good for doing stuff, but I think it's working alongside you. You
Mm-hmm.
tell it, okay, go, you know, open sidekick, do this. But I think when you're leaving it running, doesn't
It's not as
necessarily give
good.
you the best work. No, and one thing that I've had to do is we're trying to see what transpider content is online and how accurate the information is, how outdated the information is. So I asked Codex to find me those articles, and the first thing it did was lie to me. It acted like it found me some stuff. Yeah, it acted like it found me some stuff, acted like it audited the articles to see what's there, what's not there. But the information was just BS. And basically, what happened was it couldn't access the link. It couldn't, the link wouldn't open. It gave like a server error or whatever. So it just made up lies, made up a fake information. So the next thing I
Isn't
had
that
to do
crazy
was,
though? Like,
yeah. And so the next thing I had to do was basically add it into the instructions. Do not lie. Do not think. If you don't know, if you
like
don't know,
it's like
just tell
training
me.
your kid. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't do this. It's like, are you 3 years old, AI? Come on, get it together. What the hell? That's
Yeah,
hilarious, though. But yeah, it does. It's only as good as you are with it, and I do think you're absolutely right now, Nader. And that's the thing with this bot. Like I have to keep up on it all the time to make sure that it's good. But I'll tell you what, it when you keep up on it, it is really good. If you don't keep up on it, you're absolutely right. It's not as good. And it's only as good as like the input that you can give it. But if you can give it input on a daily basis and give it constant good feedback and or good input, then your feedback will be pretty good with it. And yeah, you're kind of like training these things. I guess they're like little kids. They don't know anything, and you got to train them. It's like having a puppy. It's like you gotta
yeah,
yeah, you gotta figure out how to do everything with this thing. But yeah, it is kind of fascinating though that like you can talk to it and then like kind of have tasks done and stuff like that. I mean, it is getting pretty wild. It's just not 100% accurate yet. Like you said, it will lie. Some of the information's not always true. You have to look at it and actually go back and do a little research when it tells you something.
yeah. One of the morning updates, it gave me pretty outdated price, current price levels. Not levels, but the actual price data. Like it was, Bitcoin has sold off. It dropped pretty sharply, and so I was like, "Give me a Bitcoin update," and it gave me an update on Bitcoin's price before the fall, which I
Mhm.
thought was weird. But definitely have to verify the information. Um, but one thing that I like about Sidekick is it minimizes the bias because it's only connected to the data that we have in Transpider. So it will literally just go see what the option data is and then analyze and interpret it. Whereas if you're using ChatGPT or Claude or any of those directly, it's got so much information, so much data that it can access, and it might just get a bit sidetracked and give you something different. But really, I use them all together. For those of you who haven't used Sidekick, it technically is. It has Claude, Gemini, and OpenAI
It has
already
like
built
all
in
of
it.
them all in one. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you can choose between the three, but I also use I'll use Claude. I'll have Claude come and look at Transpider, interact with Sidekick, give me an update, set alerts. But Sidekick, you know, one thing that I like to do when I'm drawing these levels like SQQQ, I have these. These are the key levels I have. What
Hmm.
I can do right here is, oh, I accidentally took a screenshot. Um, this is what I've been doing lately. So, um, set an alert on all of the price levels you see on my screen as a single multi-factorial alert. And so instead of setting one alert on each of the three levels, I'd rather have it just look at my chart and set a single alert for all three of those levels.
Hmm.
And so if it gets triggered, it will just notify me. And so it's just working on its own right now, just setting an alert for me. So for me,
Hmm.
what I like to do is if I'm using Sidekick, I have to do this manually. I have to go to my next chart, set an alert. So I'll have Claude automate that, and I'll say once the alert is set, then go to the next chart, and then type the same prompt, and then it'll set a new alert. So with that type of work, and then asking it to verify after each one as well is important too. But I would say right now Claude has become better than GPT, and
Hmm.
so they've had
Especially
two
with what
updates.
like coding and stuff like what we're talking about. Absolutely, 100%. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually just built a web page for one of our partners um, from scratch, which is crazy. Usually would take a long time to build a page. Pretty much built it in like one night. I
Hmm.
just stay up. I just stay up mainly fixing a bunch of things on the page. But yeah, I just set an alert here. So let me open my alerts. And so these are the levels that I asked it to set. Now I could have been more specific. I could have said set it for a longer time period, set it within 1% or whatever.
Now, can you get
But
it to like send you an email or a text message, like the
for the
alert?
alert,
Yeah.
yeah, you can. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the way that works is a notification setting. Um,
Mm.
you just click notification settings, and you can do email, SMS, or
Cool.
webhook. I recommend webhook for your Discord, so you can just have. I can help you set it up. So
All
if you
right.
want, basically you just need in Discord you'll generate a link, this link,
Uh
and you
huh.
just copy paste that link here, and it will be for a specific channel. And
Okay.
so anytime an alert is fired off, it will go to this channel. But
Oh wow.
what I recommend is you need specific notes, and so the notes should be the notes here has the ticker symbol, the name of the alert, the let's see what this says.
That's pretty cool though. I'll
Uh,
have to mess around with that.
so yeah, you can set up some pretty cool alerts. It'll give you the last price as well, and so
Nice.
if any of these fire off, you'll know which one it is based on the last price. And so you can also use extended session. So pretty much can choose if you want your alerts only pre-market, only post-market, or all day. Pretty much any time would be extended session. Um, some people some people trade specific hours of the day. Like I know some traders that they'll just trade the first like 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
of market open, and then they'll just
That's a
yeah
wrap.
yeah. So you know we try to make it appeal to a lot of different styles.
Yeah, no, that's sweet. I'm gonna have to look into that because that's the one thing like I lack is setting alerts on things, and sometimes you just can't look at everything at one time, and like you kind of miss things here and there. So I need to be better with setting alerts. So I'll have to use TrendSpider for that for sure, especially the AI thing, Sidekick. I couldn't think of the name of it. Sidekick, especially that. I got to utilize that thing more often. It's great. It's like a little personal
Yeah.
assistant in the stock market.
Yeah, so one thing you could do, let's say your setup is EMA clouds, and in this case for SQQQ, usually is a good time to sell after a spike above the EMA because it's so bearish that it goes down.
Hmm.
So
All the time.
usually any moves above is usually when it peaks out. Um, but what you can do is you can set alerts here. Yeah, you could do it one at a time where create an alert. The way it works is you could actually choose if you want it to be a bounce, touch or a break. And so you could get notified for a break here, and that would be the, in this case, my opinion that the breaks are the opportunities where you should look at the charts and sell. You can adjust the sensitivity. So if I move this here, it'll be more sensitive, more likely. Like if it's closer to within the range, it'll trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you can also choose when you want the confirmation. So after like a 5 minute candle or a 30-minute candle close is when you'll get notified. And so you can set it up like that. But what I like to do, if you have a specific setup, like I want to be alerted when the moving average, when prices, uh, let's say 5% below my EMA cloud, I could just type it into Sidekick and I could say, create alerts across my Discord stocks watch list for 5% moves for for price 5% below the 7 EMA. And so it can set this alert across all of the tickers in my watch list if that's my
Oh
setup.
wow,
And so I think something like that is
that's
helpful.
pretty cool.
Yeah, for somebody who they know that they want they know that they're going to repeat the same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just ask it one time and have it do it 100 times instead of you doing it 100 times,
Yeah.
which is the definition of insanity.
Exactly. Well, you used to have to do it that way, but now you have things like Sidekick and AI that does it for you. So it's quite amazing. You got to take advantage of these software platforms that we have and whatever else. Like I said, like AI and Sidekick. I mean, they're great, and yeah, they can like eliminate a lot of time and effort when you're trying to do this stuff. Like you said, when I built the all my charts and scanners and stuff, I did it manually. Now, whenever I try to do a new one, I just do it right in Sidekick, like you were doing earlier. I just type in what the heck I want and say, build me a scanner for this, and it does it. And then you just hit the save button, and it puts it right in your scanners. And it looks like the USA striking Iran tonight, possibly, if Michael Anthony's saying, which
Oh, they
I
already struck Ivan earlier.
well, I know Iran hit one of our helicopters or something because I retweeted out the White House thing, and I know I had posted about Lockheed Martin earlier, and that started to run up. But yeah, looks like some more geopolitical. I did say like a week or two ago, we were like the aerospace and defense just gets set up in a certain way. You could tell something was going down, and here we go. I would say I was a week or two early, but it looks like it was happening. And yeah, I had some Lockheed Martin calls for today, so I'm happy.
Let me see.
Let's check
I
out
haven't.
LMT.
I was just thinking that too. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. I was
Yeah.
actually looking at it earlier today.
Yeah, it was
Um,
up and it went up in the after hours. I think I have 527.50 calls, something like that. So yeah, they're in the money now. And you can look at Huntington Ignal's HII, that looks real good. Northrop Grumman's NOC, and that looks good. And RTX look good. And anytime they all set up like this, we're going to war. And I said that the other like what 2 weeks ago. And it's just crazy. You could I don't say it often, but when I say it, it's pretty damn accurate. It's wild. I mean, it's just it baffles me that these charts can set up in a way that you would know that we're going to be doing something like and I was saying it's hard to tell with the Iran conflict going on, is something going to happen here or there. That you can't pinpoint, but something's happening with the military, let's put it that way. And yeah, there you go. That's happening there.
you,
So
it's funny you say that. I think that the technicals will simplify it to the point where it's as simple as people are buying or people are selling. You don't have to know the reason why, but you'll know the time because you'll clearly see, like me and you clearly see sell
them
signals, buy
charts sell
signals.
up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but by interpreting the chart. Now,
yeah. The
what's
chart's set
what's
up in a way.
yeah, what's crazy about that? When I got into crypto, I was in crypto around 2017, and there were a lot of shady projects popping up. There was one company trying to be the next Binance, basically with a Robinhood model, a free trading, no fees trading, and instead of fees, they have a crypto token, and the value you need to buy the token, you use the
Mm.
token, but you don't pay any fees. But basically, the token goes up in value as being used. So that's kind of the sell proposition. But the guy had a deadline for launching a trading platform. He had already missed the deadline. It was called Digitex Futures, by the way. Um, he had already missed his deadline for launching his fully functional trading platform, right? Um, and so people were nervous because he had set another deadline. He already missed one, and I wasn't around when he missed the first one, but basically there was a lot of hype. He put a countdown, like a timer on the website for the project launch, and it was like a week before launch. I was checking this thing every day because I was nervous about, especially with crypto. You have to like sleep with one
Yeah,
eye open.
you
So
never know.
I was always looking at the charts. I'm like, let me look at it. I started seeing some red. And I'm like, I don't have a I don't have a good feeling about this. And I felt like something was wrong. Like I just felt very uneasy. And I sold and I moved my money out. And then this guy missed the deadline. He blamed people. He put out a video saying, um, basically he rug pulled, put out a video blaming people, saying, he basically blamed the people building the site. Said, "Well, I paid these guys; they didn't do their work. It's their fault, and all this stuff. And don't worry, guys, we'll get it right the next time." And things like that. But he actually ended up going to jail. He did some fraud, all this stuff later on. Um, but just the technicals alone will
Told
save you
you.
will save you a lot of money in a lot of different ways because you'll know, like you'll have a feeling, you'll know, um, if people are buying and selling, and you can just have like Sidekick tell you where the volume is, what's moving the most, whether it's up or down, things like that. But I think it's interesting how much information the technicals can give you.
No, I agree. I mean, I've obviously always been just a charts person, so that's all I've become, I guess, more fundamental over the last year or so with being in the Discord, the trading Discord with Ben and everybody. But still, I base everything off of the charts. Everyone knows that, and it's bizarre. I mean, look at the things that I've called over the years, and it's just you wouldn't be able to make these things up. Let's put it that way. You can't just guess these things. And you guys know I base it all off a chart. So they tell you something, they tell you a story if you can really if you can really look into it and know what you're looking at. And yeah, we have a keen eye. We've been doing them for a while and we enjoy it. You know what it is? It's like a hobby for us. We love it. So it's something that, we can just sit there on a Friday night and scan through like 1,000 charts, and that's like a great Friday night for us. Most people think that's insane. Like if I tell my friends that, they think I'm crazy. And they're like, "What? You're
Yeah,
doing what?"
we are we are a little crazy to do
Well, of course we are, but hey, it's something that we like to do. And but yeah, no, I agree. The charts do they tell you everything right away, and it is fascinating to me. But the fundamentals will help you along the way to get to like their final answers. But I do think the charts can tell you a lot right off the get go, and especially when the fundamentals, like it's a choppy market like this and you don't know what's going on with Iran and this and that. Like every day Trump's saying that they got a peace deal in the works and now we're bombing each other. So when it's like that, you got to kind of almost rely on the technicals, I feel like. So you get a better idea. And it's now 3-2 in that hockey game, guys. How crazy is that? And I don't know if they even got that goal in because I think the period might have been ending. I'm not even sure, but that was a crazy one if they just scored. Are you a hockey fan, Nader? Yeah, the end of the first period, they scored and then the puck the period ended, then the puck went in. I don't think it's going to be a goal, but the Vegas Knights almost scored literally as the horn was sounding to end the first period. That's pretty wild. But there you go
So
with your hockey
so
update.
hockey, I got a chance to watch hockey live one time, and it was probably the most exciting experience. Like live hockey was super fun. It was a really close game. I think it was like came down to a last second, like last minute goal. So that was like that was a really cool experience. But as far as watching hockey on TV regularly, not really. I kind of I used to be like I used to watch a lot of sports. Now I pretty much just wait for the best two teams and watch finals. Um, my favorites like Olympics. I love watching the Olympics. I like watching great athletes. I can watch the best people perform at anything, whether it's darts or swimming or whatever, as long as it's like talented people. And I
Yeah,
actually find that a lot more college athletes will try harder, work harder.
absolutely.
It's kind of insulting when you have like a basketball player that's getting paid $500 million and he's like not motivated,
Yeah.
overweight, and like out of shape. I just like competition. I like being entertained by two teams really trying to win or athletes trying to win. So
Yeah, no, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. That's why it's a lot of
oh,
fun.
okay,
But sounds like you're being called back there. I know you have a little one, and it's probably that time where a little one's going
yeah,
to bed. I'm sure. So you better go over there and help out. I know how that goes, Nader, and I really appreciate you copping on tonight and stopping in, saying hello. You know you're welcomed at any time. That's for sure. So. Thank you so much, Nader, for tuning or for dropping by and dropping some knowledge with us and just chatting about this crazy market. That was a lot of fun just talking to you about all this craziness.
thank you, Doug. Always good to see you. Let's talk about that trading bot whenever you're ready. I'd love to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be in touch with you, and I know Laptop Travel had a few things to say, but I know you're gonna go, so I'll just message you with that. And he was just talking about some prompts and stuff. So there you go, Nader. Thanks again, Nader, and everybody. Check out Nader. Be sure to follow along and follow Nader from Trend Spider, and of course, Trend Spider is the greatest. Nader gave out some free Trend Spider trials, guys, and then a beautiful discount if you weren't the first ones to email them during the 2-year anniversary show, you got a sweet discount. But I do know some people got some free ones as well because they hit me up. So thank you so much for that, Nader. That was awesome. So great stuff, Nader. And of course, Trend Spider, follow Nader. You enjoy your night, Nader. And thanks again for coming by.
Thank you. Hope your team wins, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Take
Have
care.
a good one, Nader.
Have a good night. Bye.
There you go, guys. How about that? A little guest appearance from Nader. I honestly didn't even know he was going to come by today until about a few minutes before the show. So that was really cool. And he was like, "Yo, I can stop by. Is it cool?" And I said, "Of course it is. Stop on by. I have a few questions anyway, and we can talk about the old market and all that good stuff." So, yeah, I was I was all excited, but let me find how to do this real quick. Hold on. I gotta get to add to stage. Hold on. Let me do that. And then let me see. Why oh yeah, that's you know what? I have it on the wrong one. Hold on. It's this one. All right. Claim that one back. I already had it set up and I accidentally messed up, but now I got it all under control. We're good now. Okay. No problem, guys. Here we go. All right, there we go. So how about that? Nader, everybody. How are you? Consistency spike and loading capital and everybody else. So yeah, let's go through. I saw you, Michael Anthony. And Michael Anthony, we found the answer last night. You signed off. I don't know if you had an issue or if you were upset, but you're back tonight. So I'm glad. I just didn't want to disrupt Nader there. And but we did find the answer to that question. It was actually Mara. The one you were asking about was Mara. That was the one that I forget who it was last night. Who I totally forget their name, but that's the one that they were asked. That's the one that we were talking about could become a data center. It was this one right here, Matter. So I wanted to get you that answer, and then you disappeared. It was kind of crazy. So we were hoping you weren't upset. We were trying to find the answer for you. Laptop Travel was trying to get a hold of you and everybody else, but there you are tonight. So I'm glad you did tune in tonight, Michael Anthony. I hope you're doing well. That was Nader, everybody. If you don't know Nader from Trendspire, Nader's the man, and we love having Nader on. Like I said, that was a surprise for me as well. As for you too, it was a surprise for me, and it was a great surprise. I was excited when he said he could cop on for a few minutes tonight. I was like, sweet. I was like, let's talk about this crazy market, and then just show me a couple things on the Trendspider that I had questions with. So that yeah, I would say that chat's color thing, that color code's really cool. I'm going to be looking into that as well. So, any questions about TrendSpider, feel free to reach out to me or Nader, of course. He'll answer anything, and he hooked up some people with some free subscriptions there for our 2-year anniversary. That was really cool. So, hope you guys were in the action for that. And let's go through and just cruise right through our market and see what's going on. If you didn't know, we had a pretty epic day today on the Qs, I would say. I mean, it was a big drop, but we caught all these channels down. It was wild. They were 200%ers right there in 7 minutes. We were doing it in the Discord live trading, having a lot of fun, I must say. When you're hitting multiple 200%ers in a day, you're going to have a lot of fun. Hit two 200% plusers and two 100% plusers in the old Discord today. So that was a lot of fun today. If you weren't in there and you want to join in, because I have a feeling we're going to be doing this a lot more often. And again, you have to be disciplined with it. And you guys were seeing how I kind of do it. And we were timing it out pretty well and just nailing these things. And again, locking in those profits. Could I have held them from all the way up here all the way down? Yeah, but that's a lot of risk right there. I'd rather take that risk out and just play these channels right here, take my profits, and then reevaluate. Oh, it wants to go back down? Perfect. Let's get in it. Oh, it wants to try to jump up? Oh, it's not really going anywhere. It's going back down. Perfect. It might jump up. Nah, it's going back down. Perfect. That's what you do with these things instead of taking that risk, instead of Trump tweeting something out and then it running up, because when it runs up, you lose a lot of profit real quick. And then your time, you zero DTEs, you can kind of reset your clock, like I say. So that was how we were having a lot of fun with that today, Michael Anthony, as well. And let's just go through the market and see what's going on. We're going to start over here tonight with our SPY and everything. Let's just cruise right through. It is 10 after 9, and that was a lot of fun with Nader. And we have a hockey game on here as well. And it is 3-1 because the Golden Knights did not get a goal at the end of the period there. They scored just a little bit too late, it looked like. So it's 3-1 going into the second period. So I'll keep you guys updated. So let's just cruise through. Our SPY was down, our Qs were down, our IWM was up a little bit, but it really wasn't. It was kind of down, and it kind of looked like that looks better than the other two. I'm not going to lie, but it doesn't look great. Apple was getting destroyed today. That's a red apple right there. Amazon was coming down as well. That was down. It looks like it's coming down some more. Google bouncing around right there, trying to hold itself up there. Luis Rodriguez. Meta coming down some more at the moment, and Microsoft is coming down pretty good right there as well. And the video was dipping a little bit as well right there. They had a big old drop down there. So there you go. And what is CVX? That is Chevron. Remember I mentioned that yesterday, and you got some July 17th 220 calls right there, huh? Let's look at them. Loading capital. July 17th is going to be right there. And you did say 220 calls right here. It looks like they have interest, that open interest. That's the word I was trying to think of when I was talking to Nader. I could not think of that word, open interest, to save my life right there. Yeah, they have some pretty good interest right there, I must say. I said it was setting up yesterday, did I not? You guys know I'm usually early, a little bit early. How about I was a little early? Just a little bit. I mean, like 2 weeks. I was pretty damn close, though. It looked like it was setting up right here. So how many days was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So less than a week ago, or was it here? It was like a week or two ago. I said, aerospace and defense looks way too good like this. We're going to have some kind of action going on. Did I not say that, guys? I know I said it on here. I said it in the Discord as well. I remember talking to Ben about it. And and saying I was pretty confident that something was going down. Look at that Lockheed Martin. I hope you guys, I posted the options today. As a matter of fact, we got into these things right around here, I think. I forget where it was where I posted it, but it definitely just started going straight up after I posted it. And that was really nice right there. Yeah, I think I have the 527.50 strikes. Is that what I wrote, Laptop Travel? Do you remember what I wrote? I'll tell you. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I got them for next week just to buy myself a little extra time just in case. But let's see, 527.50. Yeah, that's the one I had. I have all 24 of them. That's me right there, guys. That's me. I don't have all of them, but there you are. I have 527.50 strikes right there. They were up 44% today. I didn't catch that for full 44%, but mine are up there to close the day. So there you go if you followed along with that. And let's see what else is happening here in this crazy market. And yeah, no U.S. soldiers were killed in the recent Iranian downing of the Army Apache helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz. The two crew members were rescued uninjured by a Navy drone boat shortly afterwards. But Trump did say he tweeted out something about it and said that I guess they're going to have to pay for that. And so, yeah, I would say it's going to be a little crazy. Stock futures slip after U.S. launches self-defense strikes against Iran. U.S. stock futures fall as U.S. strikes Iran. Holy cow. There you go, Michael Anthony. You were saying that to us. I wasn't really paying attention to when it was happening. Inflation is set to hit highest level since 2023, and the Fed is back in the hot seat. S&P 500, NASDAQ fell as tech selling resumes. Trump vows to respond to down U.S. helicopter, and NASDAQ rebounds off session lows right there. So I would say Lockheed Martin tomorrow, guys, is going to be looking pretty good. I think your Qs are going down again, and I think we are going down. If you are listening at the beginning of the show, Nader and I were talking about the Qs, and I do think they're coming down the 675 area tomorrow in that spot. So it looks like a magnet to that 50 to me. And I actually had Q puts overnight. I told you I bought them yesterday in my long-term account, and then it was up this morning. As you can see, I was like, oh shit, this thing's running up here this morning. What the hell's going on? And then I had a doctor's appointment, and I'm not even kidding, guys. At 10 a.m., I came out and it looked like this, and I was like, well, this is going to be a downfall. And then I started buying some puts as well. And yeah, it ended up being a pretty wild day there. So them ones I bought were 714s yesterday. And so they paid out pretty well, too. They were down in the beginning of the day, but they ended up closing way in the green. I could have waited, too, but I didn't even think the market was even going to pop up. I don't even know how it did. That look right there, I was like, there's no way that thing's going up the next day. And it did in the morning, so I was surprised. But anyway, it did all work out in the good for the good there. So let's cruise through our market and see what's going on. Enough chit chat, and let me know what you guys want to look at. That was a lot of fun having Nader on, and let's see what else is happening over here. So let's cruise right through and see what's going on with the rest of this market. USO right here. I bet that's going to start running there tomorrow. I bet it's going to look a lot better. It's right on that trend line right there, not looking too bad. Oxy right there, sitting on that trend line. And usually when they look like they're going to dip like that, they tend to like to pop up. So I have a feeling your oil could be up tomorrow right there. And then we'll look at that UCO and SCO. They've been giving us a good idea. And look at it right on that trend line. SCO was up. And I mean, that does look pretty good, but we just know whenever it looks good, it comes back down. It's like almost perfect every single time. Every time it's going to look good, it's coming back down. And that's that look where it would come back down again because it looks good. And it's going to come back down, I would say. So that's your oil right there. AVGO, this thing took a nice dip, and that thing's dipping down. So it looks like your semiconductors are coming down right there. If you've seen your Soxes right here, that's your bear. That was running up. And your Soxel was way down there today, down like over 4%, dipping down. Looks like that's coming down some more. Remember we had talked about the Soxes before and said if you just bought it, and we were talking about it right in these ranges too. You'd probably be doing pretty good right here. This thing's going to get loaded up and running. So I'd keep an eye on that SOXX tomorrow. SOXS tomorrow. That is looking pretty good right there, as a matter of fact. And let's see what else is happening over here in this crazy market that we have. MU, that was dipping down, but not too hard. I could see that try to bounce up, but it doesn't look like it's going to. And Sandisk right there is trying to hold itself, and I could see that falling down. I just see this whole market kind of coming down here. TSM trying to hold itself up, but I still, and they're in a bullish state, but I don't think they can hold themselves up in this market. That's the problem. AMD looks like it's coming down as well right there. And let's see what the rest of these semiconductors are doing. Intel right here is kind of pulling back as well. It's in that channel. It has some good support, but it could kind of slowly come down right there. TSEM was dipping pretty good today. That looks like it's going to fall a little bit more right there. And what about QCOM dipping down after Jensen just said to buy it? But I think that might have been, was that I think that was actually AI or something. Ben was saying that was something fake right there, Sam. How are you, Sam? You did play the IWM like a golden fiddle today. Did you see what we did with the Qs today, Sam? I know you were running around. You weren't in the Discord with us all day. I actually came in late as well. I didn't even come on until like 10:20, I think, is when I hopped on there. Generally, when we're hopping off, I was just hopping on there because I did have an appointment this morning. But yeah, I saw that you had the IWM going down, and I'd already been playing the Qs like a maniac there. But was that QCOM video a fake? Or yeah, the Jensen Hong, whatever his name is, saying to buy QCOM, was that fake? I don't even know. I'm pretty sure Ben did say that happened. Anyway, we'll have to look at it, but it did pull back pretty good today. It looks like it was fake to me. SMCI right there, that was pulling back here, and that looks like it's going to be dipping down some more. As a matter of fact, Snow right there is coming down. It doesn't look too bad. Snow could try to hold itself, but now is dipping down pretty good, and we'll reevaluate this thing when it's ready. So we'll definitely do that as well. And you did think Ben said that. I think so too. Oh, I see Nader right there. Nader's still in the background. I'm not going to pop him up. He has his little guy. He's adorable. Look at him. I can say I'm not, obviously, like I said, I'm not going to pop him on there, but Nader's hanging out, listening. So Nader, how are you? And your little guy, Liz, teaching his little one to stock charts already. Look at that. Nader's already giving him a little lesson. He's not even like 6 months old. He's learning how to read stock charts. That's the way to do it. I'm telling you. That when they're 6 years old, they'll be able to bang them out and knock out the stock market. I'm teaching Dougie. I'm trying to get him into it a little. He is into it. He doesn't mind it, to be honest with you. Dougie likes to look at the charts with me. I just can't do it for too long with him because a 5-year-old don't have that attention span. But he does enjoy it. He likes to look at the charts and ask me about them. It's kind of fun. So over the summertime, I gotta sit there and show him a couple charts and things like that. Just pique his interest a little bit. Not go too crazy, but just get him a little interested into it. And that would be crazy at like 5 years old, 6 years old, already being able to do the charting and stuff like that. Read charts and stuff. How wild would that be if Dougie could pick up all the patterns like I do at his age? I have a feeling he can. He's got a pretty good memory and mind like that. He's my identical. I'm telling you, the things that he does, I'm like, holy cow, this was me as a kid. It's so crazy. So I think he could do it. Nobody taught me how to do it, obviously, but if I showed him, I bet he'd pick it up like that. It would be crazy. So yeah, that's something I definitely want to. And like I said, I'm not going to be crazy about it, but I'll do it because he's interested in it. So it would be pretty cool. Can you imagine if over the summertime he's like making crazy trades? He's trading the Qs perfectly. We did it the one day and he had 2 perfect trades. He hit the I think it was IWM or Qs. He had perfect 2 channels, and I let him call it perfectly, whatever he wanted to do. And he nailed it. I just showed him what to do. So I do think he could probably get it pretty quick. Laptop Travel's daughter's really good at it too. So yeah, I guess if they're around it all the time and they start really young, they'll pick it up. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it for like 25 years and it was a hobby of mine. So I got into the patterns and not so much into the trading. I would teach Dougie how to trade and obviously teach him how to read charts, but I would, like I tell you guys, you don't have to be that great at it. You just got to be good at it, good enough to see the tops and bottoms. Like, look at Luis Rodriguez. Look how good he is. And he's great at charts, but he says, like, he has a full-time job all the time. But I mean, you talk about someone that can just crush the markets and can read everything perfectly. He has it down to a science, and then he knows how to trade really well, and that's the other important thing. He knows a system that works for him. He adapted to it, and then he crushes it. And that's exactly what you have to do all the time. Well, not all the time. That's what you have to do in the market and stay disciplined with it. So that is the important thing right there. So anybody that wants to we'll teach our kids how to read stock charts over the summer. How about that? We'll do something cool with that, with kids and investing. How about that, guys? And Adobe right here was pulling back pretty big. And let's see what else is happening right here with the rest of these guys. I lost my Dell. That's right. Dell was even pulling back. Didn't we say Dell could possibly pull back? It finally did. IBM pulling back a little bit. That one had already been coming down right there. And then your Palantir is dipping down a little bit as well. SoFi is down just a hair. That actually looks pretty good still right there. And what about PayPal right here? That looks like it's trying to set up. Nike actually looks good, guys. Look at Nike. It popped up on the scanner today. I was like, whoa, Nike looks pretty good for some odd reason. And it does. MicroStrategy, we had puts on this today as well, Sam. This was a good one. I hit this one too. Just a small channel on it. I could have just kept them on there, but I did just play it one little quick time, and then I just stuck to the cues because that was fun. And Robinhood was dipping down as well. Coinbase, that's going down when crypto's going down and everything else. And then your Webull right here is pulling back as well. And space right here actually didn't look too bad. Look at this thing. Looks like it's trying to curl up and blast off again. Boeing was down, but this could try to set back up. And again, guys, look at these things. Look at Lockheed Martin, Huntington Ingalls right there, Northrop Grumman, and RTX. That's all you got to do is just look at them right there, and that's enough said. We were going to war. And I said it, Sam, a week or two ago? When did I say that? It was a week ago or 2 weeks ago? I could have said it 2 weeks ago and last week. But, yeah, we definitely knew that some action was happening. I literally said we were having some action happen, and there you go. We're having some action happen tonight. So that did set up just the way I thought it would. And we did get in the Lockheed Martin today. As a matter of fact, there, Sam, if you didn't see, I did post that in the Discord when I got them. And let's see, Disney right here was up a little bit. It doesn't look perfect, but we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. McDonald's running up. We did like McDonald's, and it was running up. And like I said, Nike's looking really good. So keep an eye on Nike right there. And then McDonald's could be a decent one. Netflix, I don't even think I looked at it today. It's dipping down still. And AMC was up a little bit there today and not looking so bad. Let's see what's up with this laptop travel. You had mentioned this thing wanted to run up higher. So we'll see. I just knew something was going on. That's all I knew. Remember, I had mentioned it before it even started to move. And GameStop right here, it's just kind of hopping around there, nothing too crazy. And then your Monster, I must call it strategy, but I don't know how this thing's going up again. I would have played this thing down and gotten smoked because I just don't understand how it's up there and still popping off to 20. I would have thought that thing was coming down. So glad I didn't play it. Let's put it that way, Sam. And so, yeah, there you go with them guys, Michael Anthony. And how was your day, Michael Anthony? You were saying to buy food stock and other retail and stay away from tech. I agree with you. And that's probably why Nike's popping up right there. And let's see some other ones. What is that one you have? FDP, that Del Monte has been getting crushed. This could be bottomed out there, Michael Anthony. This one could be a decent one. Check out that one, FDP. I'm going to jot that down right there. That looks like it's setting up right now at the moment. Good old FDP. And let's take a look at like Pepsi too and things like that because they could be setting up. Pepsi's up right there looking good. Coca-Cola is probably up and looking decent. Yep, there you go. And what is the other ones? Is it like HOL? I forget what the Hormel. What is that one? HRL, this one. Yeah, that looks pretty good to try to run up a little bit higher right there as well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on them and let me know what else you guys want to look at. Let's cruise through this side real quick. ONDS pulling back because we got to go through SpaceX and all the space sector and all that great stuff. ASTS right here also pulled back. They had good news this morning. This thing was ripping up there first thing this morning. And then it just went cruising down. I mean, look at that. First, if you didn't get out right there, you were in big trouble today. It did try to pop up in the after hours. I did not see that, but ASTS pulling back right there as well. And let's see what the rest of the space sector is doing as we go into our SpaceX IPO week. UMAC touching down on that 20. Maybe that'll try to bounce tomorrow. It doesn't look perfect, but maybe could try to. Let's put it that way. Lunar looks like that could be coming down some more. Redwire got destroyed today. They had an offering or something that yeah, that's what it was. Redwire launches $500 million at the market common stock offering program in today's SEC filing. So that got smoked there today as well. Rocket Lab was trying to look good, but that doesn't even look great anymore. Mobilicom was coming down as well. Israeli aerospace and defense right there. Laser right here was even coming down. That looked all right, but not so good today. Galaxy was the only one going up. And look at it. Galaxy's the one popping right here. And usually it runs with Bitcoin and dips down, but now for some reason Galaxy is popping up there. And they did have some big news with that Texas AI data center and whatever else they were doing. So that's what happened with Galaxy right there. That one did, and it still looks pretty good. I mean, that could continue some momentum right there. If you have nothing to look at tomorrow, check that one out. DXYZ pulling back. SATS is the other one. It's hanging out at this 117. I do think this one could get running on anticipation for SpaceX. They have the largest position. It just doesn't really look that hot at the moment. 20 coming down on your 50, but it is holding right there. It could go either way. And then the Vegas Golden Knights just scored a goal to make it 3-2. And I think they're going to keep this goal. Second period, 15:38 left, and I'll keep you guys updated on the game. But yeah, Sats I think could be a good one. I do have a few calls on that, and I do think it could pop off at that 117. As I've been saying, of course, yesterday it came down to 109, and that was a beautiful opportunity right there. I didn't catch it, but it was a beauty. And let's see, comes around the net right there, passes it out to the circle, and boom, that guy, number 71, was ready for that pass, and bam, he beat him long side on that. Nice goal, 3-2 for your Golden Knights versus your Carolina Hurricanes right now. And they are in Vegas. So, and Vegas leads the series 2-1. I almost kind of hope that it gets tied up for some crazy reason so that we we have a obviously we're gonna have a game 4 anyway, but that would force a game 6 because game 5 would only be 3-2. So yeah, that would be a game 6, which would be fun, but we'll see what happens with that, obviously. But let's keep on cruising through our space sector. We're done with them. Our critical metals ones, they were pulling back and they were trying to get set up right there. USAR right here is down as well, and that one is pulling back at the moment. So we'll see what's going to happen with USAR and the rest of these guys. They were trying to get set up, but they're not looking so good. UAMY also pulling back. And again, remember last night we were saying it's a coin flip. They're sitting right there. They don't look great, but maybe they try to bounce off of that trend line, but they're not doing it right there. And they actually look pretty bad, to be honest with you. I mean, check them out. That looks like a free fall right there down to like that line right there, 663. So none of these really look great, to be honest with you. MP was pulling back right there. Your 4Us was pulling back too as well. So they are all kind of pulling back right there. ASPI, that's dipping down. That had been running up. Berna has been looking good, guys. Look at Berna right here. This one actually doesn't look too bad and is curling up right there. So I'd say Berna looks pretty good right there. Keep an eye on that one right now. And nuclear right here, that's dipping down, not looking so good for NKLR or Oklo or SMR. I got beat up on that option because we did get options on that, and that got smoked. And E right there is pulling back as well. And EOSE right there was kind of pulling back, and that looks like it's going to go down some more. How about your Gush and Boyle right here? Gush pulling back, but watch for it to run up. Boyle ran up a little bit today, and we'll have to see what it wants to do. What was the news? There was something going on today with Boyle. I forget what the heck it was, though. It doesn't even say anything there, but it doesn't look too bad. You had your reverse split the other day and Boyle, your natural gas, not looking so bad right there. UNH, let's look, because healthcare had been running up. Why didn't we just stick with this? Because that looks like it's going to continue. Oscar was down a little bit, and then that MOH was running up right there and looks like it could continue. So I would say UNH and MOH could be pretty good ones right there as well. Let me take a better look at that UNH right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good to try to continue up there. So we were looking at them the other day. We actually said Laptop Travel that they wanted to run RGTI pulling back right there. And a lot of these guys were pulling back. IO and Q was down, and the rest of them were pretty much down. Even the triple Ds right there, they were down as well. And let's see, let's circle it back in here. That looks like it's going down at the moment. And Fig was pulling back there too. So a lot of good pullbacks today. AMPX going down. We looked at oil, except for Cracker Barrel. Look at that Laptop Travel. You guys know we were talking about this thing. And look at that thing running up right around the time that we said, and on the earnings right there. I said it was looking good going in the earnings yesterday, and there you go. How about that, everybody? For your Cracker Barrel Laptop Travel, we should all go to Cracker Barrel and celebrate today, because that was a good call on that one, I'd say, especially in a terrible market for today. QuantumScape just dipping there. Rocket was trying to pop back up there. Zach, look at this. I bet you were excited about this, because all these home ones were kind of popping up there. As you can see, Rocket looking better, LDI up a little bit. Home Depot wasn't looking too bad. It was running up, and we did mention Lowe's yesterday, and that was running up 4.5%, running up more than Home Depot. I thought it was. And yeah, Lowe's was looking pretty good. Remember, that was on the list last night, and that could continue to run up there as well. So there you go, with a few good ones from the home sector right there. And let's see what Lucid is up to. What? I don't even know what I just typed in right there. LCID, though, Lucid Group was up a little bit. That looks like it's going to try to bounce a little bit right there. Rivian's been pulling back pretty good after it recently ran up. And Fun was up still again. Six Flags hitting a little resistance right there. Sinez Tech, that's up a little bit, trying to bounce up. And then our Greenland was down today, and just watch that one for good dip opportunities. And Wrap was down. This is the one that shoots that rope around you and ties you up like Spider-Man. And it was down. HCA, this is a healthcare one. Look at this one, guys. This thing looked like it wants to get ripping there. Look at a weekly chart and a monthly chart on this thing. I'd say that's getting set up, everybody. So keep an eye on HCA right there. That does look pretty good. And again, a healthcare facility, I don't know. Healthcare has been looking pretty decent at the moment. And then all of these guys were basically down. Trade desk, it's just kind of hopping around. I pulled that up because it was bouncing a little bit. I don't think it's really ready to set up yet, but I'll keep an eye on it tomorrow. You know, we're keeping an eye on that. Fiserv was actually, I forgot that was up today. That actually does look pretty good. I forgot all about this one today. We might have to look at Fiserv tomorrow, guys. That does look good. I totally forgot about that with all that Q action happening today. It was so exciting that I completely forgot. So let's see. Fiserv tomorrow. I just jotted it down. I can't believe I forgot about it, because I've been looking at it saying it was going to get set up. We did look at now. It was pulling back. ZTS was up today too. And there you go, Luis Rodriguez with that Zotis, that drug one. CRM was down pretty good right there. Good old Salesforce. And your Soundhound was down a little bit. And let's see what Path is doing. That had a path downward. And LAES, that was going down too. But this IPW, we mentioned it last night, that popped up there. Did Doge Mama 9 play this bad boy right there? Because we mentioned it last night for you there, Doge Mama 9. And I'll read all that in 1 minute. I haven't been looking at the feed. I'm just going to cruise right through here, Michael Anthony. But give me 1 minute. Don't hop off yet. We're almost done. ENHA enhanced. I said this one was going to run again yesterday. And there you go. MKTX, whoever mentioned that the other day. Look at that thing. That thing's looking pretty good. Samuel Adams, we mentioned, was going up today. So we told you which ones were going up. Domino's Pizza, we mentioned that one as well. Look at that thing. That looks really good right there, guys. Not the pizza, but the stock does. You know, we said it the other day. And there you are with DPZ. Gave you that one the other day. GMM, check this thing out. This is trying to curl up right there. This is one of these penny ones that could go cruising. They announced a 1 for 50 reverse split on June 11th. So you're going to watch out for that. And then it'll probably run. I didn't even notice that that's what they said. I didn't look at the news. ADTX right here is another one, guys. That one's way down. You can see they have like ADTX to spin out 100% of own something. I have no idea what they're doing, but you might get a pop-up on this, just letting you guys know. Keep an eye on it. And then this WOK was trying to move today. keep an eye on these because these things are running huge. And I'll show you what I mean. This TDIC was bouncing around as well. But look at this CCTG. We've looked at this a million times. That was over 200%. CHAI was running up pretty big right there as well. And a lot of these things are, look at these spikes, guys. I mean, they're crazy spikes right there. And we did get rid of the trading day pattern, so I don't know if that's adding to it or what, but it is pretty wild right now. So keep an eye on some of them ones I just mentioned. They could get rolling. And let's see what else is happening. That rhythm's been looking pretty good right there. Look at that bad boy. SNDL's looking good. The cannabis sector is still not looking bad. Look at Tilray right there. And MSOS was down a little bit, but it spiked up this morning. So there you go. Canopy growth right here. And you know we're going to be watching this True Leave. It comes on tomorrow, and I'll get the stock ticker for tomorrow. Let me write that down, True Leave. And I know I have it written down. So I'll get that one as well. Michael Anthony, your Portillos may be a big one right there. You're right, because that's been getting set up, and that's looking really good. And then your restaurant ones, for some odd reason, could get running right here. Why the rest of the sectors get beat down, the rotation could go into food like that. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. I think you might be on to something with that. Blink Charging was down today. That's pulling back right there. Sezzle, that was hitting a little resistance right there. As you can see, it was up a little bit, but hitting some resistance. And let me see, Sterling right here was pulling back pretty big. That could have a nice pullback. And we looked at Rivian and Symbotic right there was down as well, pulling back. TRLV, thank you so much there, Laptop Travel. That's exactly what it is. And it fires up tomorrow. That's going to be True Leave. That's going to be the first major cannabis company to go to the the U.S. stock exchanges. So that's a pretty big deal right there. We'll look at Curaleaf. They're going to follow suit right here. They also changed their stock ticker, CURLD, right now. And that thing had been running up a little bit of pullback right there at the moment. There you go with them guys. And let's see right here, RTX. We looked at all these, them RTX and LMT. Howard Hughes right here. What's that up to? Wow, look at that thing. We haven't looked at that in a long time, Luis Rodriguez. Vantage acquisition closer lifts Howard Hughes 4%. Wow, that's rocking and rolling right there. Good old Howard Hughes. McDonald's we looked at. Lowe's we looked at. FedEx was doing good. And especially what was that one that FDX? This one, FDXF. That's why I wrote it down wrong. I wrote it backwards. Luis Rodriguez gave us that one last night, and that was running up there today. Look at that bad boy. Look at UPS just kind of hanging out there. But look at your FedEx right there, and that doesn't look bad in a nice little bullish channel. And then Madison Square Garden's getting crazy, and they're supposed to host the Taylor Swift wedding. Elf right here is trying. Elf Beauty looking pretty good. What's Ulta doing? Oh, wow. Look at Ulta right there. That looks real good to try to run up stock, setting up Ulta and Elf. What's the other one? Estee Lauder, EL right there. That doesn't look too bad either. You can tell with them three lines setting up. That's always a good setup right here, guys. Watch for any dips. Anytime you have a trend line, this one and that going like that, that's going to pop. I mean, I would say 99% of the time, that's popping right there. So EL should be running relatively soon. Keep an eye on that one. And Credo right here. What was that up to? Running up there today as well. Not looking too bad. Bread Financial was up today. I did see that one spiking up because I have it on a watch list, and it does run. TMDX running up. That looks good. That Transmedic medical devices, medical ones, seem to be pretty good right now. And is this SIM or is it STM? I don't know what the hell I wrote. Probably, I have no idea what I wrote right there, Luis Rodriguez. STSI some. I don't even know what I wrote. I have no idea. ARE, I didn't even know this one when I wrote it down. I even know that was a stock ticker. That doesn't look too bad. And we were talking about the Soxus earlier, so there you go. And let's see real quick, Michael Anthony, your Planet Fitness is curling up, not looking too bad. Your Tractor Supply was looking good yesterday. It did take a little pullback today. And I do think your Portillos is going to run right there. That is looking pretty good at the moment. And that PPC, look at this one, that packaged food one. There's another one getting set up to run PPC. That should continue up too, guys. So that's a good one. UEC, your uranium plays were dipping down right there pretty good, I would say. Uroy was pulling back a little bit as as well. And Tiger right here was up, but not really. It doesn't look too bad, I would say. We'll have to see. I can't say I'm convinced it's going to go flying, but it doesn't look too bad. And then again, that Del Monte trying to get set up right there. And Payax right now is up a little bit. That doesn't look too bad as well. We did mention Galaxy earlier there, Michael Anthony, and that one is flying along there. They had some big Texas AI data center news there yesterday, as a matter of fact. So that is running pretty good. UEC did report earnings, and what did they say? Anything exciting? I forgot that they were reporting. It looks like it was red. Hold on. Uranium Energy Corp post minus 0.11 cents on 85 million revenue and something else, and I have no idea what I'm reading, so it doesn't even matter. And there you are. That's what they reported. How about that? And so let's see, what else do we have over here? It looks like we have a little battle going on in our hockey game, and the refs had to come break it up. I guess we have a penalty or something coming up, but it is 3-2 still in the second period with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left, and Carolina's up 3-2 over Vegas Knights right here. And let's see what happened here. Oh, that was a pretty wicked hit. That was a cross check to his head. I'd say he's getting a penalty for that one. That's for sure. Oh man, he waffled that dude right in his head. What a I mean, I guess he got him in the shoulder, but he still got him pretty close to his head. That was a pretty good shot right there. And yeah, that'll definitely draw you a penalty. That's for sure. Let's see what else is going on over here, guys. Did we get to everything? I think we might have. And we just did it all a little bit differently tonight. But I know Laptop Travel had some up here. So let's cruise through them. And then I'll cruise through and see what you guys want to see. And then I'll do the rest of the second period, Michael Anthony, of the hockey game if you guys want. And then I probably won't do the third period. I'll probably just watch that on my own and get a little bit of work done. But yeah, we'll do. Well, I can do play-by-play. There's 8:30 left. Let me cruise through some messages and see what you guys are talking about up here. Here we go. We looked at AMC. It is looking pretty good. That bicycle is looking pretty decent. It's been pulling back, but it does look like it's going to pull another wheelie right there. BMGL is Bassel Medical Group. That looks pretty good. Laptop Travel. And CNET is spiking up. I saw that spike up. These China ones are crazy right now, guys. So we know the China sectors, China stocks, they get into these really weird things where they just go spiking like this. And we have one of them we're in one of them opportunities right now, if you want to call it an opportunity, but you got to be careful. They spike up fast. I used to play them all the time. You can tell I'm not that crazy to go in and play them that right at the moment, and especially if the Qs are just going to dip like that, and you can easily get 200% in 7 minutes on the Qs. I would rather do that, to be honest with you. So I don't know, but a lot of these will be spiking up. And again, these China stocks have these rotations of when they get crazy, and it seems like they're in one right now. Highway Holdings right there. There's another big spike in Hong Kong, China. All these guys are going nutty for some odd reason. They do. They just have these spike ups. How about Holy right there? Auto parts. That's looking good. That auto part one was looking great too. What do we say it was? Advance right here, or was it a different one? I think it was. I don't want to say it was Advanced. No, it was something else. What's the other auto one? Advanced and Advanced Auto, and what the hell's the other one called? I can't think of it. But anyway, that one was looking pretty good too. That doesn't look bad either, AAP. Wasn't it over here? Let me see. I think I had it up over here. Wasn't it over here? Maybe not. I don't remember. AZO, that was it. AutoZone, that's what it's called. There you go. This was looking pretty good right there. That AutoZone's looking good. Look at that bad boy. That's spiking up. AZO is looking pretty good, guys. So keep your eye on that. That's curling up right there as well. And let's see what else is going on over here in Laptop Travel world. Let me see. IQST. Let me see what that is at the moment. I'm not even sure. IQ Stel. That looks like it's going to pop up a little bit more right there. Not too bad. IXHL is at InConnex Healthcare. I'm familiar with this one too. I traded this a few times, and that's trying to pop back up right there. We'll see if it can actually get moving, but it's not looking bad. That's like an Australian one. I think it's like a China one, but I don't even know if I guess it's Australian. I have no idea. Lens right here, Lens Therapeutics. That's trying to curl up. It went down the after hours. I'd have to look at that tomorrow. I wrote that down wrong. MGIH right here, Millennium Group. That is running up right there, not looking so bad. And MITQ, MITQ right there, moving image. That looks really good, actually. Laptop Travel. Keep an eye on that. And look at Laptop Travel joining you at the table there, Michael Anthony at Portillo's. You guys can go out to lunch together right there. RGNX. I told you that Portillo's is looking good though. RGNX not looking so bad right there either. And RYET, let's see that big spike up. There's another China one. Now you guys see what I'm talking about. TNYA, that's a biotech company in the U.S. And that is just kind of getting set up. I do like that one that gets set up right there. Laptop Travel. And TRDA is Entrada Therapeutics. That's trying to curl up. It's just sitting right there. It could have a little bit of a setup period, but it could run. And I know you did like that XOVL. It was spiking up today, but dipping down a little bit right there. And we'll see what that bad boy is up to. There's your XOVR spiking up and kind of dipping around and jumping around. And it looks like we have an interference penalty on Carolina. So it looks like the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be on a power play now. So 5:40 left in the second period. Golden Knights are down by a goal and they're going on a power play. Carolina has 21 shots. The Vegas Knights only have 8. Wow, they're blowing them out in shots at least. That's for sure. And they are winning the game 3-2. And there you go, Laptop Travel. Thank you for that list. Greatly appreciate it. And Trump needs to quit playing around and get to work on finishing off Iran, helping the markets, and fixing the economy. I agree. And time for him to change his depends. If SpaceX is 4x overscribed, you sure can't tell it from the price action of the proxy plays and ETFs. It's so crazy, Laptop Travel. I'm not going to lie. And Nader did hop on tonight. That was great to see Nader. And Loading Capital oil flipped green. CVX, like I said last night, these guys were looking pretty good. They dipped down. I think they're going to be pretty good opportunities right there on these dips. AROC, that's looking pretty good right there. And ACDC, let's get them to play for us. And that's kind of pulling back a little bit. I'll look at that tomorrow in the AM with this one, actually. And there you go. Anterio Midstream is AM. And that is just pulling back, but that doesn't look so bad. That could get jumping up there, Loading Capital. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's look at our futures real quick and see what's going on. Your Dow Jones is down 0.03. It's barely down. Your S&P is barely down 0.08. It looked like NASDAQ's down 0.12. Russell's down. I think that says 0.08. I have no idea. What does that even say? I think it's an 8. I have no idea. It's a 0.0 something, I think. 0.0 and then something. 8, I think. I guess an 8. That's up 0.39, it looks like, for your Nikkei. Euro stocks are up. DAX is up, and VIX is at 19 right there. Let's see what our oil's doing. Crude's pulling. It's just like hopping around right there. It's at 89, and that crude Brent is down to 92. So, I mean, they don't look great either, to be honest with you. Heating oil right there, natural gas, nothing really looks good. Orange juice might get running. Look at gold and silver. Didn't we say they were going down? We said that last night. That's for sure. We said silver's going down to 50, right? Here it goes. There you go. You want to short something down. How do you short silver besides puts on this? Isn't there one? Laptop Travel, that's like an ETF silver the opposite way. I could be wrong because I know that there's like JNUG and NUG for gold, and then you have Dust over here, which is going up, and J Dust, that's your gold miners. I don't think you have anything like that for silver. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure, but SLV looks like it's coming down to 50 right there. We did say that last night, and it's down 4% right there today. So that was a good one right there. We called out last night as well. And let's see what else is going on. So that was your futures, and crypto's getting hammered. Bitcoin at 61,000. And like I said, did it do exactly what I told you guys it was going to do right there? I'd say so. It didn't even curl up out of the basement. Like I said, I didn't think it was even going to come close to the MACD. I knew it wasn't going to cross it. I didn't even think it was going to come up to it, and it did, and it came back down. So there you go. With your Bitcoin, Ethereum's kind of pulling back right there. And so is Ripple right there, Solana as well, and the rest of them not looking so great. Let's put it that way. Let's see what this one's doing. That's that World Liberty thing, and that's not even doing good. Trump can't even pump that up right now. So let's see what else is happening over here. What are you guys looking at? And you were asking Nader. Sorry, I didn't get to everything. I know Nader had to hop off. He had to tend to his little guy there. So doesn't consistent drag the markets something else right there. And we were talking about all that stuff. And I said that the markets would rebound, but no, you meant collapse. I called 686 for the Qs today. I think they will rebound. I'm saying they will. It's just not immediately. I think we're coming back down here to your 674 area tomorrow. And then somewhere's in between that 630 and then here is going to probably happen. And I think it could happen by the end of the week, especially this SpaceX IPO, guys, is just crazy to me. I don't know. I have way too many people asking me, hey, what's up with the SpaceX? How are you going to buy it? How do you do this? How do you do it? And I know as soon as everybody starts asking you that, stay the hell away from it because it's going down. So I'm saying I'm going to be aware of it. That's for sure. So just be looking out for that. And that's Friday. And you were asking about Tesla. We're saying, oh, man. You would buy Tesla at 330 or lower. I agree right there. All the way down here, huh, Luis Rodriguez? Hold on. What did I just do? Yeah, it's going to probably take a little dip right there. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it makes it all the way down there, but it could take a nice dip. And we were talking about LUV benefits from spirits to rise. Oh, well, that makes sense right there for Southwest. And what do the other ones look like? American Airline right there. That's not too bad, but LUV does look a lot better. Look at that thing. That looks like it's going to run up some more right there. So keep an eye on that one right now. And let's see. You use Grok to build your prompts. I do this laptop. Oh, look at that. Golden Knights just scored a power play goal, guys. It is now 3-3 second period with 2:52 left. And now the game is tied. Look at that. Vegas, if they win tonight, they're up 3-1 in this series. It's a big game because if not, it's tied up and it goes back to Carolina. So it's a big game, I would say. It's always a big game. But yeah, if they can do something here, let's see what happened. Carolina had the puck. Oh, they just got it stolen from them in Vegas territory. And Vegas comes down on like a 3-on-2, and he just takes a wrist shot and just blows it right past the goaltender. He was looking for the pass, pulls back, snaps it right there, and he snaps it between the player to the defenseman's legs and right over the goalie's shoulder. I mean, he had put a top shelf right there, right over his glove, and it was a perfect shot. He snapped that thing. And yeah, if you shoot it through his legs, it's a nice little screen from the defenseman for you. So it's exactly what he did right there. Number 21, Brett Hoden with his 14th goal of the playoffs right there, it said. And wow, that's pretty good. But yeah, he ripped that shot right between his legs and top shelved it. There you go. And that's how you score. And but laptop travel, I also do the exact same thing. I ask ChatGPT to make my prompts for me very often. I'll just write in what the hell I want. Hey, create a prompt for this. And then I'll just type in what I would type in. And then it actually makes you the right prompt. And that's a very good shortcut right there, laptop travel. I think I've mentioned that before, actually, on here. I've said that as well. So, and you can learn a lot from how Grok and same thing with Grok, ChatGPT. I use both of them to do the exact same thing. So me and Laptop Travel are on the same page with that. That's for sure. I know I've mentioned it before. I've been doing that for a while. My buddy Josh is the one that told me to do that, to be honest with you. He was like, just use AI to make your prompts. I'll tell you, the guy's a wizard. And he was doing it for so long that he just knows how it all operates really well. And then once you start, like you're saying, Laptop Travel, you learn a lot when you see how the prompts are supposed to work because AI gives you the right like prompts because you're asking it to. And then you can start really playing around and making your own prompts and making them even better. So, and then making the AI make your prompts better. So that's how you do it right there. So thank you, Laptop Travel, for mentioning that. And we are at a little bit of a showdown there tonight, I would say. And Nader, I was telling him about that basically. And you were talking about your AI having to make it a little bit better there and keep up on it. And what about Schwab right here? Consistency spikes. You were talking about this the other day, and Schwab doesn't look too bad right there, I would say. So that is looking pretty good. Consistency spikes likes it, and it does look pretty nice right there, I must say. and and then if it gets something wrong, you always ask, why did you fail, and make it accountable for its actions. Like it's a little kid, your AI. It is a little kid. And yeah, sometimes I'll say I'll like be like, if it won't do the prompt that you want it to do, like sometimes if you're like making I use Gemini to make images. And so sometimes if you're like trying to remove something and then you ask it like once or twice and it won't do it, I'll be like, can you please, with a cherry on top, remove this? And then honestly, it'll do it for you. It's kind of weird. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't do that. It's so bizarre, guys. So yeah, that's another one, laptop travel, I do sometimes. So you can try that one too. Please, with a cherry on top, and it somehow it realizes it's like, oh, I better get this shit done. He's asking me in a nice way. I don't know. It's weird. AI is very strange. And now we have 4-on-4 right now, hockey, because there's a penalty. And someone went into a goal. It was goalie interference, and then from Carolina. And I'm pretty sure the Vegas Knights dude just went over and punched him in the head or something. I wasn't watching exactly. It's to do with the mask on. And I'm not sure why he got a penalty. I got to say, the guy that got hit with the puck, he's in the penalty box now. I mean, he played the game out of his mind the last game. He's still hanging in there, guys. He's not bowing out after he got smashed in the nose with a puck at 93 miles an hour. How crazy is that? I mean, that is so bizarre and wild. And last trade was and that was a good one. Next idea is Chevron, book market for loading capital. Was a good one. Remember this one at Jillian or whatever. And I said Chevron last night, loading capital. Were you on here? I added it to the list last night. As a matter of fact, I had this and ExxonMobil both on the list last night. And I will agree with you on that. I do think they look good. Some healthy pullback today and possibly running up right there tomorrow. So there you go. And yeah, Anthony Davis. Was that who that was who broke his fingernail and was out for like 6 months? That was the craziest thing ever. And he gets paid like a ton of money. And that's the option that Loading Capital is looking at for Chevron right there. So you guys can keep an eye on that. July 17th, a 220 strike. And it's 4-on-4 hockey, 3-3, 45 seconds left in the second period here. I guess I'm not going to call play-by-play. We're just going to go through this and then wrap it up, I think. No U.S. soldiers were hurt. We did talk about that. Sam's hanging out. He played the IWM like a fiddle, and we did play the Qs and everything else. It was a lot of fun. CPIs tomorrow at 8:30 could move the markets as well. And Oracle reports after the hours tomorrow. Did you say after? It says after hours. So Oracle was reporting, and that's dipping down on the on anticipation going in. Chewy, Luis Rodriguez, I'm glad you wrote that. That looked good today. Chewy does look pretty good going into its earnings right there. I can't promise you anything, but it looks good. They have earnings tomorrow morning right there. SMCI announced a $7 billion offering. I didn't even see that. $7 billion? I didn't even see that. Supermicro announced a $7 billion multi-tranche equity and equity-linked financing to fund roughly $39 billion of AI server orders. So there you go. Wow. How do you like that, everybody? I'd say they got a few orders, $39 billion in AI server orders. Would anybody else would like $39 million in orders for their company? I mean, that's pretty wild right there, huh? They got to raise $7 billion just so they can get this shit done. That's pretty crazy, guys. You're talking a lot of money right there. And let's see what Michael Anthony was saying. The USA hit 20 Iran targets. That now a full-out war. Then on Bloomberg, that Goldman Sachs saying look for more sell-off in the tech sector since the war has increased. And news at noon, geopolitical tensions add to volatility. Sentiment worsened after President Trump threatened retaliation following a U.S. helicopter being shot down over the Strait of Hormuz, and the USA hit 20 or more targets before getting daylight or something like that. And AMC was incredibly strong and stable. In the face of the Qs drop, I'd say so too. Laptop travel, you got a good point with that. That's for sure. And tomorrow, the markets could hit newer lows that no reason to buy with more selling after tonight's strike. I agree. I'll be playing them Qs down again, Michael Anthony. Can we get another 200%ers and another 200%ers tomorrow? Well, we'll find out. That's like 6. That was over 6. If you added them all up, it was probably like 700%. worth of profits right there. And again, you could have just bought it at the beginning and sat there and waited all day, but you could lose them too. And so I play the channels and trade them and get in and out and have a lot of fun with it as well, and also lock in those profits. It was pretty wild. 200% in 7 minutes, guys. It was like 202. I forget what they were, 230, whatever. I posted them earlier. You guys saw it. And it was crazy. It was awesome. So there you go. And I do think the markets will be pulling back. Them Qs, it looks like a magnet to that 674. Iran will be pissed, firing missiles at anything that moves, like USA companies. And PTLO was running until the news after the attack. And we'll be watching this TRLV tomorrow. That's True Leave. That's going to pop up there on the markets there tomorrow. What is NUS? I have no idea, Michael Anthony. New skin right there. That's curling up. That's getting set up as well. So NUS, that's a NUS right there. That looks like it's going to run. And what is Helen of something? Helen of Troy. That's what it is. Helen of Troy. You've mentioned this before. Household products. That's getting ready to run up a little bit more right there. You remember you gave it. It was at 14. You're right. You did give it to us pretty low. And I remember you talking about this thing, Michael Anthony, for good old Helen of Troy. And is this, well, that's not Aflac. I think this is Aflac, AFL. Yeah, that's not looking too bad right there. Could try to curl up. And MetLife right here as well. They're insurance companies. That's trying to run up. And ALL is Allstate, and that's also not looking too bad. So insurance companies not looking too bad. Galaxy, we mentioned, is running up right there. And SMTK is Smart Chem. What is that one? They had some stake in some convertibles or something. It is pulling back right there. Let me see what this SMTK is up to right here. I can't get a good idea. It was running up the other day. Maybe a pullback. I can't really tell. I'll have to look at that in the morning, laptop travel. Let me write it down. SMTK right there. I'll have to look at that bad boy in the morning. And UEC did report applied. And they also, what did they do today? They ran up the other day. And that was bouncing around right there. Had a big deal also. Applied Digital prices $1.59 billion, 7% senior notes, secured notes due sometime. Fund the Polaris Forge AI campus expansion. So there you go with a APLD. And SMCI selling shares on a big deal right there. ISRG is that initial. Oh, this one was looking really good. You mentioned this the other day, Luis Rodriguez, and this thing was setting up ISRG. That one does look pretty good right there. Keep an eye on that one as well. And OCC, you told us about at 12. It's at 22 right now. Look at that, guys. Michael Anthony coming around with some good calls right there. And there you go at OCC. I do remember you mentioned this optical cable thing. So there you go with that. Nice one, Michael Anthony. Hope you loaded the boat on it. That's what I hope. And what is that? FCHL is Fitness Champs Holdings. That's the one. Laptop Travel knows this company, right? Laptop Travel, you like this thing? FCHL. Michael Anthony seems to like it. At 80 cents, dip will pop big. And it probably will. And I won't disagree with you on that. I just know Laptop Travel said there's something up with it. I know that as well. And let's see what else is up. What is this one? O'Reilly right there. Is that the O'Reilly Auto Part one? I always get confused. Yeah. ORLY. And that's another Auto Part one. They are looking pretty good there. Laptop Travel. And what is VICI? I'm not even sure what that is, but that's a property company, RET thing, diversified. That looks pretty good right there, Michael Anthony. FCHL is a scam. Personally know these people. See, I told you. I didn't even see that you wrote that. Thanks, Laptop Travel. So yeah, just be careful of that, Michael Anthony. I was just saying that without even looking at what Laptop Travel wrote. So I knew that already because we've talked about it before. MPAA, what is that one? Motor car parts, another motor part one running up right there. Jump on earnings and profit, then dipped on the war news. Michael Anthony gave us NWL the other day, and that's trying to run up, looking pretty good with Newell brands. And ZSL, we did say that. That's the short silver. That's it. I knew there was one. Laptop Travel. That's it. ZSL. Thank you. That's it right there. That looks pretty good. Thank you, Laptop Travel. That is exactly the one I was thinking of. And TONX, that's that tone strategy or ton or whatever, if that's what you're talking about, consistency spike. It's pulling back a little bit. We'll have to see whenever crypto gets rolling again. Let me see. Nothing real crazy right there. SMP, let me see what that's doing. Standard Motor Products, and that's another auto part company. Look at all these motor parts. Oh, yeah. Ford right here is pulling back a little bit. That looks like it could dip down, as a matter of fact, Michael Anthony. And American Airlines right there. That doesn't look too bad, but like I said, Southwest looking pretty good right there, I must say. HLI is Houlihan Loki. We were looking at this the other day. Remember, you mentioned this one. That is getting set up too. HLI, that Houlihan Loki thing. And let's see what pay is up to. If it's going to start to pay, it may start to pay there. Consistency spike. I already mentioned you were the one that mentioned it. I forgot who it was. MKTX is looking good. I have it on the list already. It is starting to set up right there. Consistency spike. So thank you for them few. Appreciate that. And GT is Goodyear tire. That's actually trying to get set up as well there, Michael Anthony. Not looking too bad there. And let's see, Zach. How are you doing this evening? And how's Rich Tech Robotics and Serve Robotics? Let's see. They've been down lately. Let's take a look at them, Mr. Zach. Your rocket was running up there today and not looking too bad. And let's see what our Rich Tech Robotics is doing right here. You're right. It is pulling back and not looking so bad. What about Serve Robotics? That doesn't look so good either. They were looking pretty good not long ago when they were running up here. I remember they were looking good, but I haven't looked at them in a few days, and they did pull back right there. And they do look like they're getting beat down a little bit right now. XOVL is a two-time XOVR, and it's a great SpaceX exposure if that's what you're looking for. And TONX is the ton coin. Their consistency spikes, and yeah, it's just kind of hanging out, not really doing a whole lot right there. And there you go. I would say we just rolled right through all of them bad boys. And let's see what else we're missing here. We read that. We went through everything in crypto. That's dipping. The futures were we looked at them. Let me see if there's anything else that we're missing on the old whatever it's called, stock twits. That's what it's called right here. And that has SMCI. Tilray, look at that. Tilray's running up. What I tell you about the cannabis sector. Looks like Tilray's up in the after hours. Oh no, that was running up today, it says. And but it is trending number 2. And Oracle's down, gold's down, USO is down. It says TGTX. What is that one? TGTX. Is that TG Therapeutics? Look at that one ripping up. Cracker Barrel. DraftKings was looking good today. We were talking about that in the Discord. Look at that thing. That could continue as a momentum play right there, guys, for DKNG. Keep an eye on that. I forgot about it. USAR dipping down pretty big right there. And let's see. That's what we have right there, I would say. And let me see if there's anything else. How about these guys? Battalion right there. And these oil plays, these could get rocking and rolling. How about that TMDE? That's looking pretty good. Remember, that ran up pretty big. So we might have to get that list out again. Remember, we get look at all them things, Battalion, T-Pet, and all these things right here. We may have to check them out and see what they're up to if oil wants to get rocking and rolling. And we want to go back into a war with Iran. Not that we want to, but it looks like it's happening. And that's what's happening, obviously. And we did talk about Chewy reporting tomorrow, I believe, in the morning, Luis Rodriguez said. It was looking pretty good today going into its earnings there, Michael Anthony. So I would say keep an eye on it in the morning if you do like that Chewy right there. And let's see, what else do we have going on? Anything else? So we had a special guest this evening. It was Nader. That was a lot of fun. Nader popping in, giving us a little trend spider action, and then also talking about the markets and seeing what he thought, his opinions and everything else. So that was a lot of fun right there. And then we went through the market to see what else is going on here. And we do have Nike looking pretty good. There's a few that look good. I'm not going to lie. Nike looks good. Domino's Pizza doesn't look too bad right there. That FDP, whatever the heck that is. That's at Del Monte. That's trying to crawl up right there as well. And then you had your Galaxies trying to run up some more. McDonald's not looking too bad. We just mentioned DraftKings right there. That looks like it could continue. LUV is Southwest, not looking bad. UNH and MOH for the healthcare, they're looking pretty decent right there. You're short on silver, ZSL right there. And then you have your Del Monte FDP, and then your makeup ones like Ulta and Elf and Estee Lauder, they all look pretty good at the moment for some crazy reason. Not sure why, but they do. And then that PPC was trying to crawl up, Pilgrim's Pride. And then your Portillos right there. Of course, Michael Anthony likes that. Let's see. I haven't looked at Chipotle in a little while. That is trying to crawl up right there. Chipotle trying to set back up as well. So there you go. And again, just sell billions of dollars worth of weapons and drones to Israel and let them deal with Iran. And the markets can benefit from the stocks. That would help, wouldn't it? And what's pizza? Is that Papa John's or something? Yeah, PZZA is Papa John's. Not looking too bad. I just think Domino's looks a little better. DPZ right there looks a little better on the stock chart at the moment for me, Michael Anthony. And there you go. That's what we have. We have a tied game, 3-3 Stanley Cup Finals. It's going into the third period, so you guys should go and tune into that. They're still in the second intermission right now, so we won't do the old I'm not going to do the play-by-play for the third period, but it will be a good one. I'll be watching it, you know that, and I'll be doing some work. We're already after 10 o'clock. Having a good time tonight, Michael Anthony, so thanks for tuning in here. Thanks for bringing a bunch of good ones to us. And everybody else that's hanging out, like Consistency Spike over here, bringing some good ones as well, because that MKTX is looking pretty good. Zach tuning in as well and hanging out. And, of course, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, and who else? Loading Consistency Spikes and Loading Capital, and anybody else. Sam was hanging out, and I'm sure Valerie and Doge Mama 9 and everybody else like that. Who else was on there? CFS and Candace Cadence and Izzy and all you guys. So greatly appreciate it. And Low Country Profits, I know you're always tuning in as well. And DPZ's giving away pizzas away at half price. Well, there you go. How about that? I had no idea. Let's look at their website. You can go and choose any two for $6.99 each, guys. You can go eat a piece of cardboard. It's what it tastes like to me. But again, I have like a ton of like amazing pizza places around me. So if I'm getting Domino's, there's probably something wrong with me. And but they are popular. There's a couple around my house. I'm not gonna lie. So people must order it. I just never do. And there you are for Domino's Pizza. There you are, Zach. And you're saying go Canes. I said let's go Carter Hart and the Vikings. Why do I keep saying that? Vegas Knights, because it's like Vegas Knights sounds like Vikings almost. But yeah, I'm kind of rooting for Vegas Knights, but not really. I mean, I don't really care who wins the Stanley Cup. I just hope we go to a Game 7. That's what I'm hoping for. That would be a lot of fun. What day did I say that would be? On a Sunday night, right? I would have to do that. Game 7. Hold on. I have to look at it again before we hop off, because I completely forget what the schedule was. It was Tuesday, Thursday. Thursday would be game 5 right there. And then Sunday would be game 6. And Wednesday would be a game 7 if they had it. So Wednesday would be or Sunday would be a game 6. So hopefully we do get a game 6. I'll do the play-by-play on that one, and we'll have a lot of fun. On Sunday night, we can hang out and do that as well. And YUMC is that Yum China Holdings. That could run. These China ones could get wild right here. NRDY Nerdy Inc. Wow, look at that. That was pretty nerdy right there. Running up on its own today, and definitely agree and hope for a game 7. Yeah, always hoping for a game 7 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But so yeah, game 6 we can do Sunday night play-by-play. I'll do it, and we'll do our stocks and stuff show in between the game. How about that? So that'll be a lot of fun. You guys enjoy the rest of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed Nader tonight. I enjoyed Nader. I always enjoy when having Nader on. That's for sure. He's awesome. And so is Trend Spider. You guys know that. We always use it. And I already kind of went through the list right there, or the things. Carvana was looking good. Nike was looking really good right there. Like I said, there's that Yum right there. Yum Brands. Look at that bad boy. And AZO, that AutoZone, not looking bad. And it did pull up Southwest right there. That's how I saw it. And what else was looking good? There's a few UNH, GD, General Dynamics. Look at that, Luis Rodriguez. We were talking about that one. That's an aerospace and defense one. And that's looking pretty good as well right there. Look at that, trying to curl up and run up. So that is what the market looks like, guys. We'll be on at 7 a.m. to see what our Wednesday morning is going to bring us. And I think that the Qs are going back down a little bit more. That's what it looks like at the moment. We'll be playing it tomorrow. You guys know that because we had a crazy day today. It was literally epic day. And I'm expecting another epic day tomorrow because, like I show you on this, the Qs look like they should be coming down some more. Maybe they do another little bounce up like they did today, and then come cruising straight down. Maybe they run up in the pre-market again. I'm not exactly sure, but that does not look like it wants to go up right there. So I would expect the Qs to be coming down, the SPY, IWM, and most of the market. We will see some things popping, like I said, but I would expect a red open. Laptop Travel said he's expecting a red open tomorrow on the Qs. And then we could see a moderate rebound and then choppy throughout the old day based on CPI numbers and Iran retaliation. So, yeah, there you go. And so we will be keeping an eye on all that good stuff. You guys know that. That's what the market looked like today. It was a crazy one, that's for sure. And I hope everybody was locking in those profits. It was a great day to do it, especially on the Qs. So tune in tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. so we can go through this pre-market, see what's happening. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes, only not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And CPI is tomorrow at 8:30. Here's your calendar right here. As you can see, you have your CPI, your inflation rates, and all that good stuff. And then on Thursday, you have your initial jobless claims, core PPI, and all kinds of other PPI and more inflation stuff. So let the inflation CPI stuff get released tomorrow, and we'll see how the market reacts to that at 8:30. But until then, I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the third period of this game 4, right? What is it? Game 4, right? Yeah, game 4. It's a 2-1 series right now. Vegas is up over the Hurricanes, but it's a tie game, 3-3 going into the third period, and they're going to start pretty soon. So you guys enjoy that, and I'm going to watch it, that's for sure. And I will see you guys in the morning. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and go watch the rest of this hockey game. And we will see you guys at 7 a.m. Have a good night, guys.